What's up YouTube, it's Saiyan here coming at you with another unboxing video, and we are staying on the realms of the Dragon Ball Super card game, and we have another starter box for you guys, Shenron's Advent. This has been out for a while obviously, and I wasn't really planning on featuring it here. However, there are some cards in this particular starter deck that recently I realized I would like to get, and one of the cheapest ways is just to get the whole starter deck here. There has been obviously a lot of hype around the new type of leaders, the wish leaders, obviously all the different Shenrons from the Dragon Ball universe, and I've um, I've obviously not really been keen on playing with these leaders, but there is obviously a lot of pros when you run such a leader. For example, you basically run a 43 card deck and you get that super boost from whichever Shenron you decide to run. So this one is the starter set again, as I said, and we are going to crack open this bad boy and see what's in there. So we got the Piccolo mat today. Cool little mat, being overlooked a little bit recently. I've just opened the seal here before I started recording, just to make the video a little bit easier, so I'm not fucking about with the scissors. So crack it open, and this is obviously 51 cards, the leader, and a fully playable deck, and indeed a fairly powerful deck as well if you get the right cards running. But first, let's have a look at the playmat here. This one's a Shenron design. I see Oolong wishing for panties. So there you go. That's what you get with this one, with this little pervert here. Actually, this is from the Dragon Ball Super, not from the original Dragon Ball. But hey, never mind. He still got his panties, didn't he? It does not matter for that little porky what he gets. So, there's the starter. And we are going to unravel the content of it. Right, so there you go. There's the flap. Find a flap. Find a flappy flap and be able to fucking open it as well. Jesus Christ, this is more difficult than what it should be. Okay, bloody hell, that was hard. It's not very loose, it's very much fixed to the plastic, so that's not great. So let's start with the leader here. Fucking shiny, miraculous arrival Shenron. Dragon Ball on the other side. Weirdest thing when you're attacking the leader, you're attacking Dragon Balls. That is just wrong. The idea of that is very weird. But the card, it's nice looking. And this this one-off power when you give one of your guys triple attack and you can't use your Dragon Balls anymore this game. This is super buff. So yeah. It's not unusual for the starter leaders to be powerful. And obviously they followed on the trend with this Shenron here. Looking at the other starter super rare fantastic thing, we have this Shenron figure of majesty, 20,000 power, and once per turn you can have sparking 5, draw one card and choose one of 3 different abilities. You can either restand 2 energies, you can choose a battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area and play. That's really cool. Or choose your leader card or one of your battle cards and it gains plus 5k and critical for the duration of the turn. So I think that's a pretty sweet beast there, but for a card that can't attack and it's a 4-drop, it's probably a little bit late to the game, especially if you can pull this off. Flip this guy around and probably turn 2 quite frequently. So one of the reasons why I got this starter, this Shenron starter, the Dimensional Warrior Son Goku, cool little card, double strike barrier, auto sparking 7, When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp. So it's nice to have this guy in the collection. I, for some reason, just absolutely love the Xenoverse Goku and the Xenoverse Vegeta cards. They just look so different, and that has a massive appeal to me. That the fact they include cards like this in these sets is really cool. We also have Vegeta Return from Darkness, again, just talking about that Xenoverse outfit, so he's wearing pretty much black all over, and his battle gear has that thingy that goes around the back of his neck, which again is really, really nice. I really like how they've designed these Xeno Vegetas and Gokus. This guy has Critical, which, if you don't know, well, it's one of my favorite abilities. Critical is just very powerful, and it has Auto Burst 5. When you play this card, if your opponent has 11 or more cards in hand, your opponent chooses cards from their hand and sends them to their warp until they have 10 cards in hand. So this could be useful. I'm not saying it's the greatest card, but it's definitely nice to have. There's a second copy of that Shenron that we had in the Shiny, obviously 2 cards included there. Then we got a 2-drop red Mega Focus on Goku, burst 3 once per turn. For the duration of the turn, this card gets plus 5k and can attack battle cards in active mode. Not bad. Then we have 3 Vanilla Gokus, which is random. They normally have 4 of in these decks. I might just be missing something. I don't know. Anyway, 3 Vanilla Gokus, 2 Vanilla Yamchas. We got 2 Puar. Best spell. It does something with Yamcha when Yamcha is in play, I think. When you combo with a Scarf from the battle area, you may add 1 card from your life to your hand. If you do, choose up to 1 red Yamcha with an energy cost of 2 from your deck plate and shuffle your deck. So Puar brings out this vanilla Yamcha, basically. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 Scheming Porky Pig. The little pervert here. When you play this card, if your leader card is a Shenron card and Oolong's Wish is in your drop area, draw 2 cards. So obviously he's the main draw engine of the deck. Oolong's Wish here. A 4 of this extra card. This gains desire in all areas, so you can basically use your leader to play this in certain situations. When your leader is Shenron, draw 1 card and choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5k for the duration of the turn. Pretty sweet stuff. Dragon Ball Seeker Bulma. This is your box standard Dragon Ball Seeker. Once per turn, you can basically shuffle your, look through your deck and pick a Dragon Ball, then shuffle your deck. Kami, absolutely amazing card. This Kami is really cool. It has Deflect, and when you play it, you draw a card. For 2 energy in your main, if your opponent has 4 more battle cards in play, you choose all of your and your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, ignore and bury and KO them. So this is basically a fucking sweeper, and it does their job really, really well. 1-drop Deflect. When you play it, obviously you draw a card. That's always good with any cards, and then for 2 you can pop everything that's 4 or less on the battlefield. So that is a obviously really, really, really good sideboard card. If nothing else, then just for that. But it's worth running it in the main deck as well with a Toki Toki setup. We got 4 Temporal Rescue Trunks. This guy is a super combo. Basically, when you have 5 or more cards in your drop area, you also get to draw 1 card. See, the massive difference between the old school and the new school super combos is the fact that the old super combos, the one that says 0 plus 0, you can't actually use it until you fulfill the criteria on the card. But with the new type super combos, you can use it. You can still combo for 10k for free. It's the extra ability that you don't get until you fulfill the criteria, but you always get the plus 10k for 0 with these. With the old ones, you don't. Not until you obviously fulfill the criteria, which is I think that makes these better because you can use them even if you're not fulfilling the criteria. You can still combo for 10k for free. If you don't have the burst 5, then you're not drawing your extra card, and that's it. But you can still use it, and I think that is definitely really good. Another reason to buy this starter deck is the power burst counter. Um, Definitely, I would say definitely better than the previous counter with Supreme Kai of Time. Can't remember what it's called right now. It's of course in my deck, but I'm really bad with remembering card names. But this power burst is really cool because when you negate the attack, you can choose up to one battle card from your drop area or warp and add it back to your hand. So it kind of replaces itself in a way, and particularly for black decks, getting something back from your warp is always good, even if it's only just a one drop. But if you have a Sparking 5, which you can do, obviously, not necessarily with an overround deck, but obviously that would be a little bit more difficult. But in general, it's not that difficult to get a Sparking 5. And don't forget, this is a black counter, so you can basically use any energy to play it. You can pick a card from your life and add it to your hand instead of paying the mana cost, the energy cost of this power burst. There you go. I listed all the bloody mana types there that are in Magic and Dragon Ball. And then we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dragon Balls. Obviously, the deck wouldn't function without the 7 Dragon Balls. These are your box standard ones. What these basically do is when you can have 7 of these, any type of Dragon Ball up to 7. So you can have the 4-star, the 1-star, the 7-star, whatever, but you can only have 7 Dragon Balls altogether in your deck. If your leader card is a Shenron card, draw a card when you play this for free. So, as I said, if you run these Dragon Balls with the Shenron leader, you basically have a 43 deck there for you to run. And then finally, just to close off, we have 4 copies of World Peace, which is just a creepy looking card with Master Roshi and Krillin just waking up from that coffin type of thing. God, I don't even remember what this was. I was probably 10 years old when I was watching Dragon Ball, so I can't exactly remember what was happening here. It may have been the Aether Saga, it may not, I have no idea. Anyway, this also turns into a wish. Against desire in all areas. If a leader card is a Shenron card, choose one battle card in your drop area with an energy cost less than or equal to your current energy and play it. So basically, you can use, again, any desire cards with your leader. The first ability there is for you to draw a card, or you can use a desire card. Choose one desire card in your hand with an energy cost less than or equal to your current energy, and activate its activate main skill. So you basically, when you're at 4 energy, you get to use this for free, and you can do what I just read you can do. And of course, the third ability, the final ability, where you have to basically send your Dragon Balls out of the game. You're removing them. You're not sending them to the warp, which is very important. You're removing the 7 Dragon Balls from the game. If you do, choose up to one of your battle cards and it gets plus 10k and triple attack for the duration of the turn, then flip this card over at the end of the turn. So it becomes Dragon Balls again. Obviously, that's the big wish with Miraculous Rival Shenron. Then you give one of your guys triple attack. Now, if the triple attacker happens to have double strike and critical, that is absolutely just game over pretty much. That is going to kill your opponent, particularly if they're looking to draw cards from their life to get closer to self-awakening or all that. I had the displeasure to fall for that trick. I think it was with the use of Dimensional Warrior Son Goku. Son Goku got the triple attack and it has double strike. It wasn't a critical attack, but it still won the game for my mate, and obviously that was an eye-opener to tell me that I need to play around things like that in the future. Anyway, either way, I think this starter deck has a very good sort of new take on the game. Being the 7th starter is brilliant for a card game that is now just over 2 years old. And obviously, don't forget that set 7 is going to see a new beginner starter deck and also an expert deck, which I'm really looking forward to. I have a lot of anniversary boxes in order, which will be opened on the channel as soon as they arrive in the UK. But as usual, the UK is lagging behind with the cards, and I'm already watching the big YouTubers in the United States cracking open their anniversary boxes, and I'm left behind. It's not my fault, guys. I want to bring this to you all, but they're just not here. They're not here yet, and it may be another few weeks. I've spoken to the company that I've pre-ordered from. They haven't got a clue when they will be arriving. So excellent stuff. Just doing greatly with the distribution there again, Bandai and friends. So fuck it, we'll have to wait. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this little unboxing video of this Shenron starter deck. We got some cool cards here again. We got some nice shinies, and that's what we're looking for. I love these bad boys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for joining me again. Bussin signing out. Peace out, YouTube.